Hello there and welcome to a brand new podcast. This podcast is called
The Mackham and the Mank.
And I'm Colin.
I'm Katie.
And why on earth did you pick that name?
Because, Colin, I'm from Sunderland, which makes me a Mackham, and you are from Manchester, which makes you a Mank.
Well, sort of Manchester, but that's another story.
It's Manchester.
So I came up with the idea of this podcast because I think there's two great pleasures in life when you watch telly. The first thing is actually watching TV or films for the first time. But then the second is when you watch it with somebody else who hasn't seen it and you're enjoying it and their reactions. So we've just done Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Which was fabulous.
But you didn't think it was going to be fabulous, did you?
We watched Breaking Bad first, and I thought I was going to hate it. It wasn't my cup of tea at all. But I got hooked quite quickly.
And it was great because I saw it the first time around. And so obviously I knew all the storylines and everything. But it was great watching it with you. And you're like, what happens to her and stuff like that, weren't you?
Yeah, just all of the characters was so in jeopardy all of the time. You never knew who was going to die because somebody always died.
No, don't give it away for anybody who hasn't seen them yet.
Well, I suppose it's not as bad as Game of Thrones.
No, not bad at all. So what we thought would be a good idea, we could do a podcast because obviously we're married as well, which is the other thing that I haven't sort of made obvious, is that we could do this and it could be sort of part entertainment, part marital therapy, part we're either going to get a divorce or whatever's at the end of it.
Now, this marital therapy angle is new to me, Colin.
So that was the sort of idea with that. So I thought we could alternate the TV programs that we picked because we were always saying to each other, why don't we watch this together? And it's obviously time and all the other sort of boring adult things get in the way. So I thought we could pick one thing each. So I've picked Space 1999 to watch with Katie, who, well, she might have seen 5 seconds of it whilst walking through the living room. You haven't seen any of this, have you?
No, I've got no clue what it's about, really.
Yeah. I mean, like, when we watch Star Trek, you're like, isn't he in something else or whatever?
Well, they all are in something else.
Well, they are actually, yes. Yes, so that's why I picked that. So I thought we could do that. Now, the idea, the format we're going to try out is that we're just going to watch it and talk over it. And if anything notable happens, we'll pause it and we'll take the mick out of it. I will swear. I've got to say that now. So if there's any small children, then, take it out of the room. Katie probably says she won't swear, but she will swear.
Yeah, I might do.
Yeah, okay. So I've got two choices of this. I could either spend 10 minutes boring the absolute arse of everybody and telling you about the full history of Space 1999 and British TV. No. So what I thought I could do, so Katie needs to get a phone out now.
Oh, phone, yeah. Got it.
And I'm going to give me 60 seconds where I can quickly explain what Space 1999 actually is.
You've never explained anything in 60 seconds.
Well, I'm going to give it a go. So they can do that. Because for the general public, there's Wikipedia and there's loads of really good websites that we could do this. But I just thought if I do a quick 60 seconds so that at least Katie's not looking at this and going, what on earth is going on? It will help. Yeah.
Okay. So you ready?
Yeah.
Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
So in the late 60s and early 70s, there was a TV program called UFO, and it was done by Jerry Anderson. And Jerry Anderson was the guy who did Thunderbirds and things like that. But they were obviously all puppets. So UFO was a live action TV program. And UFO was okay, did all right. Had like lots of women in silver spandex and wearing purple wigs. And
you'd have enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, no. Yeah, that's another story. Stop eating into my time. And it was it was some sort of like MI6 type thing that would protect the Earth from aliens. So the first season did okay, and the second season they wanted to set purely on the moon. But what happened was that the sales weren't good enough in America, so they decided that instead of doing that, they would create a whole new program called Space 1999. And Space 1999 is set wholly in the moon. Something bad happens in this first episode, which flies the moon out of Earth orbit, and there are 48 episodes. Is that okay? Oh, I've got 5 seconds to spare. There you are. So that's Space 1999 in a nutshell.
Yep, time up.
So Thunderbirds, dude. Yeah, dude who did Thunderbirds. Okay, but it's live action.
So no puppets.
No, well, there's special effects and stuff like that. Yeah,
okay.
And he did it with his wife, and although we've had a little joke, they end up getting divorced at the end of it. So.
Oh no! I thought you said this was therapy.
So we'll have to sort of see where it goes. So that's it. So the first episode is called Breakaway.
Right.
And it tells the story of how they end up getting out the orbit of the Earth and flying off into outer space.
Okay.
Right?
Let's go.
Shall we crack on?
Yeah.
Right. And please, before we start,
Right.
ask questions.
All right, I will.
Because you'll either get a really good answer or a daft, silly one.
Okay.
Right, here we go. Just waiting for my computer to fire up.
Oh, here we go. Let's see the moon.
It's definitely the moon. And the Earth and the Sun.
And the sun, yeah.
See, no CGI. Yeah.
The Dark Side of the Moon. September 9th, 1999. Nuclear Waste Disposal Area 2.
How old were you? 6?
1999?
Yeah.
Oh, I was grooving.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you were more than 6, weren't you?
I was much more than 6. How old were you, Colin?
Yeah, that's another story.
Professor Bergman, it's Jim Nordstrom. We just passed through the laser barrier, and we should be ready to start Dr. Russell's manual check on the radiation seals in a couple of minutes. All right, Nordstrom.
So they're on the moon.
We're watching you closely.
And they're checking out. There's like the idea is all the radioactive waste gets dumped on the moon, and so that's what they're checking now is all these sort of dumps.
Eagle 1-4 from Area 2 Monitoring Depot. This is Dr. Russell.
Yes, Doctor?
When will you finish unloading?
The last few canisters are going in now. I should take in about 10 minutes.
What do you think of the special effects?
I think they're excellent.
As soon as the ship lifts off, please begin a manual check on that radiation seal.
So that's Dr. Russell. She's one of the main 2 characters.
Making a thorough check.
And is he the other main character?
No, he's Dr. Bergman. He's the sort of Spock character in
Right.
this.
See, this so far reminds me very much of the nuclear bunker we went to visit last weekend.
it's probably half the equipment.
Yeah.
So far,
Uh-huh.
the brain
So Bergman's quite serious, and he's a boffin, and he's techie and things like that.
And he has the most remarkable sideburns.
Oh, well, it was the 70s. So this was filmed in 73
Okay.
and released in 75.
Well, you couldn't see the strings there.
No, right. You can in some of the scenes.
I
I'm
see.
sorry. Yeah. So this is the main dude. This is Commander Koenig, John Koenig.
I see.
Yeah, and he's the main dude.
I'll take it.
See, they're still drinking coffee in 1999.
Well,
He has to be from the 70s, the guy on the screen there.
Looks like James Last, doesn't he?
I don't know who James Last is.
So he's Commissioner Simmons, and unfortunately he's only in 2 episodes.
Right.
But he's absolutely amazing value.
It looks a little bit like the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah, so he's Roy Doctrees, he recently passed away, and he's a brilliant character actor. He appears in all sorts of stuff.
I see.
Yeah, he was in Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Everybody was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, there you go. So yeah, so he's like the overarching boss character, and he's explaining to Koenig that they detected a signal called Meta, and that's what that
The
oscilloscope line thing
the
is.
green circle.
Yeah. So
astronaut virus infection mustn't be allowed to stop
plot
us.
development here.
We must make a man landing on Meta. Nothing will stop us.
So Meta's a planet.
Yeah.
Nothing. Good luck.
So the thing that has struck me most so far is how large the zip on the shoulder of the uniform is.
And that's it. Not that it's set on the moon or anything like
No,
that. Or the
this
spaceship.
zip is potentially troublesome. It's so large.
Oh dear. So the problem they've got is they want to launch a spaceship to Meta, but all the astronauts are getting ill with radiation sickness. So they need to find out what's going on.
But if they're dumping radiation waste on the moon and then sending people up there,
Well,
does it not make kind of sense that they get sick?
have you already just broken the plot? You know, should we not bother with the next 50 minutes?
Well,
So in real life, Helena Russell and John Koenig were married.
how did they end up in divorce as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see where this is going, can't you?
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to continue with this. I like our marriage.
Get out there and bring Nordstrom in. Yes, sir.
Oh, so anyway, so this is the radiation sickness kicking in. Do you see how they're meant to be on the moon?
Yeah, it's all very anti-gravity and they're floating around.
Yes, they've all gone very slow, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, did you notice his eye went funny as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's just being thrown across the moon.
He's like Superman, isn't he? Oh dear.
Oh, what's that?
Force field.
Yeah, now he's banged his head and fell over, and he's broken his helmet.
Yeah. That's him
I
gone.
think that's bye-bye from him.
Yeah. So there's your first taster.
And that was all before the opening credits.
Well, this is the good thing about this program. So you get this, right, and then all of a sudden you get this.
I mean...
No, this.
Oh, wow.
So they show, like, a quarter of a second of a load of the scenes.
Yeah, so the opening credits are basically a really fast run-through of that episode.
Yeah. Which is a really cool idea, actually. The only other program I know that does it is the remake of Battlestar Galactica. They did something similar.
There's a theme in your viewing habits here, isn't there?
What?
Space 1999, Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've mentioned Star Trek already.
I certainly have. So yeah, so every episode has this in the first season anyway.
How many seasons are there?
There's 2.
Okay.
There's 2. Yeah. Plus, it also quickly tells the story for those people who haven't actually bothered to watch any of the episodes.
Well, I don't know if that really would give me an insight into the whole show, because I've never seen it before.
But it's exciting, isn't it?
It was quite exciting. There were some people doing forward rolls when there was meant to be turbulence, and
Good old Rudy doing the costumes.
yeah.
So one of the things that happens in this first season is that there's a sort of thing going on between John and Helena, but it's never actually explicitly sort of,
Implied.
Yeah. So you sort of get the odd glance and stuff, but they fucking hate each other in the first episode.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Which is this one.
Yeah.
So he is the main man.
Yes.
And he's just been transported to the main ship.
To the moon.
To the moon.
Because he's just got this is his new job.
And he's got his white briefcase there.
Yeah, he has. Because the person who was the commissioner, who was in charge of the moon base, has just been kicked off the job because of all this radiation sickness stuff.
And again, whilst it's called Space 1999, as you can tell by the outfits alone, it was in fact made in the 70s.
It was, yeah.
Because they've all got very almost all-in-one suits on, and they're in a beige colour, and they've got sort of flared bottoms.
Yeah, it's definitely, and the plastic seats and everything. There's so much about this that's retro. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
The fashions. So this is the dude he's taken over from.
Right.
So this isn't awkward, is it?
Well, what can he do if he's got radiation sickness and extremely bad hair?
He's hoping that he dies in his sleep or something like that,
Well, that's unkind, isn't it?
Yeah, he's telling him, like, fuck off and die or something, isn't he?
I think that's really unkind.
Well, what would you do?
Well, I don't know. Has he been sacked, the other guy?
Yeah. Maybe he gets to go and play space golf on the moon or something like that when he's finished. Do you think they've got a space golf course?
Hopefully, if they do, it's not beside the radiation.
Well, maybe that's why they're all dying.
Maybe.
But the ball would go 6 times further because there's less gravity on the moon.
Oh,
so
you'd never learn how to hit the ball, would you?
oh god, look at them bell bottoms. So you see what you mean now?
Yeah.
They must be a safety hazard. If you're in space, tripping over your own bell bottoms.
And those belts, I mean, they'd cut you in half.
Yes, they are tight. I think part of it, though, was to keep people's guts in.
Well, that man's guts are coming over the top of it.
Oh, poor Barry. He's Barry in real life.
I see.
Yeah.
He has very blue eyes.
But yes, those side boards are very very impressive. Yeah, he's very serious, John. Yeah,
Okay.
he's very Captain Kirk. He takes everything very, very seriously.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
And this is John here,
Yeah.
the main
that's it.
man,
That's it.
with his briefcase and his bell bottoms.
It's great for radio, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pointing to the guy on the right.
And he's almost better hair.
Yes, almost better. It's a wig, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, so here's Helena being all serious. So she's in real trouble because she can't work out what's going on. So here's our first gadget.
Yes.
wow.
That's called a comlock.
So what we're looking at here is what looks like a really small camcorder,
Mm-hmm.
but it's obviously some sort of communication device.
Yeah. So it does the little TV screen obviously is for communication, and then the it opens and shuts doors.
College prize.
And
Obviously.
That's it. That's the only two things it does.
So it's a communication device and it opens the doors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're going to have something, it might as well be multi-useful.
I mean, you rarely even had electricity in 1975, so I suppose something like that would like blow people's minds, wouldn't it?
How do you get electricity on the moon?
I was just set in 1999. I was talking about when people were watching this in the 70s.
I see.
Yeah. Ask your dad about the three-day working week and all this sort of stuff.
Oh no, I don't want to ask your dad about that.
medically clear to fly this mission?
So here's all chemistry then.
As fit as astronauts were in sparkling.
I don't like you and I don't like you and all this sort of stuff.
Commander, I saw the 9th man die this morning. One moment he was fine.
She's very serious as well. It's Helena.
She.
There's not many shits and giggles come out of her.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's a thermographic plate. A malignancy erupts. There's immediate disorientation.
So we're looking at a sort of scan of a brain here, and the brain's half blue and half red. And I think from that we're meant to get the idea that there's something going wrong with his brain.
At nuclear disposal area 2. It's inconsistent. The 2 Metaprobe astronauts never went near that site.
I know. And there are more inconsistencies.
So he's giving a shit now because she can't work it out. You know, it's like saying you're the doctor, you're meant to know what's going on here.
But she's saying, yes, I know that it doesn't make sense.
Isn't she saying like my pretty blue eyes are prettier than your pretty blue eyes as well?
Possibly.
Yeah.
And they've both got the same sort of peachy coloured lips.
Oh, you saying they're related as well as everything else?
Oh no, let's not go there.
So he's desperate to get this thing signed off so they can go to Meta, and she's obviously saying, well, you can't go and fly anybody because everybody's dying of radiation poisoning.
Which seems fair enough.
So I'm assuming how it worked is that the astronauts didn't go from Earth. They went to the moon first, and then they went from the moon to wherever they were going.
So jumping ahead a little,
Yeah.
is the rest of the series set on the moon or on Meta?
On moon.
On the moon.
Oh, Meta's a complete MacGuffin.
Ah.
You don't hear from it again.
So for the general listening public,
Yeah.
please explain the word MacGuffin.
MacGuffin. So MacGuffin's a plot point that's put into a TV program or a film. And whilst it's the central point of the film, it's just an excuse to get people to do something like go on an adventure or go searching for something or whatever. So the most famous MacGuffin is the Ark of the Covenant in Indiana Jones. Because it doesn't really matter, does it?
Oh, yeah.
They could be going after the lost packet of pineapple flavoured Chewits, and it won't matter, would it?
No, the plot would be the same.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
that's the classic example. So Meta is very much a MacGuffin. I think it's just was used as an excuse so they could sack one person and get Koenig in.
And is this a widely used word or is it a common word?
Yeah, no, MacGuffin's used in the film industry a
I
lot.
see. I've
Yeah.
never really heard it, which is why I ask.
Yeah.
So apologies, general public, if you do know that word. I did not.
So we've just been in the medical bay and there's 2 people dying of radiation sickness and they've got weird eyes. And now we're in a big room. Oh, this is Alan. So we've been introduced to Alan Carter.
He looks like an Alan.
Yeah, he's Australian.
He's blonde.
And he's the sort of physical, sort of, security guard type person. Now, he does a lot more than that, but he's the one who always gets involved in the fights and stuff.
So is that why his sleeve is orange?
Yes, well done. Yes, it's part of his designation. So his actual title, I think, is something like Chief Pilot or something like that. But yeah, you see, Alan's a consistent character. Because that's the other thing about Space 1999 is you get certain characters that are there all the time, and then you get characters that come and go, and then you get characters that are just in one episode, and they're always somebody really famous as well. So you'll see loads of familiar faces as you go through.
I have to keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So here's Simmons again.
Settling in up there, I hope.
Such a
I
nod.
just wanted your first impressions of the situation.
You need a shave.
There was another death this morning at the nuclear disposal area. Dr. Russell talks about a kind of brain damage caused by what she thinks is radiation. Yes, Yes, I've heard all about her theory from Gorski.
Oh, he sounded sceptical about her theory, didn't he?
He's pissing on chips left, right, and centre
I
there.
know.
Dead wrong. So I'm going to send you
Oh no, he's got a turtleneck on as well. How could he make himself any more unlikable?
Got that settled in. Before we do anything, I'd like to make sure there's no radiation leak in that disposal area.
So he has an entire wall of comms,
Yeah.
the tiniest TV screen ever, and then the same around the corner.
Tell you what you can do.
Actually, I never noticed that.
Stop sending up
Yeah.
any more atomic waste until I can't possibly do that. Atomic waste disposal is one of the biggest problems of our time.
Step in the bureaucrat.
Here to clear up this mess. That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
there's
to do
always
now.
one, like the mayor in Jaws.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Yeah.
possibly stop
That's
anything.
it. He is the mayor from Jaws.
Yeah.
That's it.
But must have the beaches full.
I'll get your Metaprom launched. Deal? Well, a temporary delay. That's the best I can do.
Go on, Roy.
If that's what you need.
You get him sorted.
That's what I need. Simmons.
He also sounds very sort of stiff up at English accent, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Me and those men are no better.
Mm-hmm.
No. They're no better. They're not going to get any better, and you know it. All right, just a minute, John. We have to hold that story in. We have to. The International Lunar Finance Committee meeting on the
Oh, money. Money time.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we are.
Now, if one word, one hint of failure,
Politics, money, disinformation. It's all there, isn't it?
It is.
So just remember that.
Jesus, we barely got the internet in 1999. Never mind a moon base.
I was going to say, and they're communicating from Earth, I presume it is, to the moon.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Oh, he looks very serious here, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks troubled.
Commander,
I'm going to
recheck that nuclear disposal area myself. Yes, sir. I'll need 2 volunteers. Very good, Commander.
So Paul's another recurring character.
He's doing it. Sorry.
You'll get used to his bushy moustache.
And he's doing it himself, but he needs 2 volunteers.
Yes, that's true.
So they look like there's 3-4 mounds of
Yeah.
huge earth with giant orange pumpkin-looking things on top of them.
I mean, they look like nipples to me, but I mean, you know.
I thought pumpkin.
Collins, want to go to Area 2? Well, that's where we are going, Commander.
Okay,
We
so,
just
so
use
he's a
Area 1
red
as
shirt.
turning point.
So the pilot's a red shirt. So red shirt's another term. So it's when you find a character who you've never seen before and you'll never see again because you know that they're going to get killed.
They're in red shirts.
Yeah, it's what comes from Star Trek. Star Trek used to do that. They would send 5 red shirts down to the planet, whatever's, and they'd all die.
But Picard wears red.
Oh, no, the old Star Trek.
Right.
The Star Trek you saw when you were granddad, anyway.
And Kirk wore yellow, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
In those days, we had no centigrade radiation coverage.
Was it Kirk that Grandad would have watched?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look at all them nipples there. So they're flying over the surface of the Mars and looking at loads of nipples.
What nipples have you been looking at?
Well, they're nipples.
They're not nipples.
Okay, all right then.
Well, fine, you have your nipples.
Yes. Uh-oh. Foreboding
I
music.
was just going to say there's some sinister music, and his eyes are obviously going funny.
Uh-huh. So I guess now we'd have an advert, wouldn't we?
It's very advert sort of. It's gone dark,
We'd have
and
the
now
green-
it's fading back in.
We'd have the Green Cross Code man and selling chalk ices, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
So we're back. This is very 2001. This as well.
Is this the same scene as we started with?
It's similar. It's the same place. Yeah. But this shot is very similar to one of the early shots in 2001 when they're on the moon, and a lot of people who worked on that worked on this. There's a crossover between the two, and we've seen 2001 before you say we haven't.
Oh, okay.
Oh dear. So anyway, so I'm messing on with these things. Orange is a good colour. There's a lot of orange in Space 1999.
Orange is the colour to wear if you don't want to attract wasps.
Oh, did you get many wasps on the moon?
I don't know about the moon. Maybe you get lunar wasps.
So it's we're in the future, but they're still using a dipstick.
We still use a dipstick now.
Yeah, well they're using. Well, yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say.
Point 1 check complete.
He's not from Bradford, is he? Radiation normal.
What's going on to point 48? Fine, Jackson.
I guess Arnie had to get some work in the early days. Didn't he? I will test your bunker
And
for
they
you.
look like they've got the Ghostbusters packs on their backs.
Mm. Yeah. Uh-oh.
What is it? A proton pack?
He's going doolally. So here we are. Clenching a fist.
Oh, no. So the pilot who brought them to where they are now is doing something
Weird.
Yeah.
God, they look like Lego men there, don't they?
Oh, he's starting to sweat and he's pulling. I can't watch him pulling at his eyes.
Oh, it's alright. There's no eyes. They just go white, I think, in this. Yeah, it's fine.
There's no goriness.
And of course, with it being the 70s, it's like electronic
Music.
bleepy beeps.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He's on again. Radiation normal. Yeah.
All right, Jackson.
He doesn't sound like a Jackson. Doesn't sound like any Jackson I know.
That seems to prove the radiation count here is within safe limits.
This is what I love about this episode, is that the whole point of this episode is to set it up so it blows up. And they're all sort of saying, there's loads of nuclear waste, but it can't be radiation. There's loads of nuclear waste, but it definitely can't be radiation. And it's like, obviously it's radiation, isn't it?
Where else do you get burns like those people from?
Uh-huh. Just because the little dipstick things aren't doing it. Oh, here he goes. Oh, white eye time.
Oh, he's become violent. Oh, no.
You can't smash up the plastic white seats. Oh, that's not a good idea, is it?
He's breaking the place down.
Oh, breaking a window on the moon, I can't imagine it's a good idea.
No, I can't imagine it is.
So look at all the stuff that they're breaking now.
All of the machines. So it's taken 2 of them to unsuccessfully restrain the pilot who has radiation sickness.
And he's accidentally knocked out the security guard.
But if I'm honest, he's behaving more like I would expect a new zombie to behave in a zombie film.
So that security dude has a purple sleeve.
Right.
Yeah. So you see the comlock doing the other thing now? Yeah, we're in there now, aren't we? Yeah. That's that sorted, isn't it? So yeah, so the MacGuffin continues.
So
actually, no, the MacGuffin's meta, isn't it? The sort of the whole plot about the radiation sickness thing. So somebody else is ill now. So this is called Main Mission, and you'd be surprised to know it's where they run all the missions from. It's like the hub of the moon base.
I was going to say, would this be like the bridge?
Yeah. But he gets a room of his own, so he can play with himself or
But
whatever
Picard
it is.
has a room of his own.
Yeah, but he has fish in his room.
Oh.
He has nothing. This is so boring.
Yes, sir.
You at least put a plant pot up on there or something. No. It's going to get another bollocking. That's not Dr. Russell.
No.
What's the latest report on the condition of the Metapro?
I'm not being racist, but that's definitely not a woman.
No, it's not.
Actually, that's sexist, isn't it?
It's a
Yeah. So Dr. Matthias pops in and out. He's one of them that comes in the odd episode, but you don't see lots of him. Oh, he's seen better days, hasn't he?
He doesn't look very well.
No. Eric Sparkman.
Yeah.
Isn't he in South Park?
Maybe that's where they took it from.
So Barbara Bain, who plays her, got nothing but stick because she never moves her neck. So you notice that every time she turns around or looks towards, she moves her whole body. So I should have told you that before she did that, shouldn't I? Yeah.
Why does she never move her
I don't
neck?
know, but she got a lot of stick for it. Thing like, see what I mean? She can't turn her head and walk. It has to be all the sort of same movement.
So that guy we thought didn't look very well.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But there's still buzzy things going on.
I was going to say, what is that? There are like little floaty bits of light.
Mm-hmm. So she's now pushing buttons to turn off the machines. But do we think he's dead? Do we think he's really dead?
Of course he's not.
Do we think? Oh, no.
He's going to sit back up with a flourish.
Of what? was told.
Oh, I like Alan. Alan's a really good
Die
character.
of an illness no one can understand.
He's dead sort of like pally
Earth
and,
Command wanted you to think it was a terrorist
genuine and
attack.
honest.
But the metaprobe.
And he's only occasionally stereotypical Australian.
Only occasionally.
Yeah, only occasionally does that.
Why
Yeah.
those two men died.
Oh, more beeps.
So they're not considering the radiation to be a problem.
No.
Yes, but the problem we have may affect the metaprobe.
Oh god, he's having some sort of like,
Must make a man
I don't know, meditation recounting session. I'm not quite sure what to say about this.
I can't guarantee that they won't be infected 3 days or
What's in that mug?
space.
Oh, and
Nothing by the looks of it.
Lots of the kit were just general stuff that they used. You could buy them just from Woolworths or something.
Right. That's quite a mug.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, quite. It's just, and it's orange.
It's an orange mug, and the handle looks like a segment of orange.
I think it looks like a moose.
Do you think, so far,
Mm-hmm.
we've given the listeners a good indication of what's happening in this episode?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Just as suddenly it all started again.
So he's got an orange sleeve too.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. He's in a few and then he disappears.
He's not Australian though.
Oh, I know who he is. He got replaced after this episode. Or it might have been after episode 3. Yes, I know who he is. Yeah.
Check out all the figures on Area 1 for the
There's a
past
lot of
10 days.
orange sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
So is that general worker?
Check 10 on Area 1.
I've got no idea. I can geek on as much as you like, but yes. So they're all having a big conflab here, aren't they? Trying to work out what's going on.
Yeah.
Bless them.
It's one of the few constructions on the dark side. It's a clear line.
So there's Paul. Paul's great.
I think she's moved her head there.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we should, like, next episode have some sort of drinking game where every time she actually genuinely moves her head, you take a swig.
Hey, I've got some gin on the fridge.
Mm-hmm. Deal. So next episode we're going to have a Barbara Bain drinking game. It rhymes as well.
Fist pump it.
There we are.
Done.
Yeah. So this is Sandra. So Sandra's another reoccurring character. She's in 2 seasons. Or she changes her name in the 2nd season.
2.
But I'm not even going to start telling you about the madness of season 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
You mean it gets more mad?
Oh, season 2's batshit compared to season 1.
See?
Season 1's very serious. Everything's very prosaic and it's, just happens. Where season 2's all over the shop.
So she has a pale lemon sleeve.
She's not wearing a bra. I don't know about anything else.
How did you notice that? Where were you looking?
Do you not know it's the Princess Leia thing, isn't it? They don't have bras in space. Anyway, all the radiation nipples are going glowy and sparkly now, aren't they? What did you call them? Pumpkins?
Pumpkins.
Mm-hmm. So obviously that's not a good sign, is it?
No, I mean, not only the pumpkin, but the mound of earth upon which the pumpkin sits. Oh, that is a mustache.
It's a porn star moustache, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you were running a nuclear radiation waste facility, things going sparking and exploding, it's not a good sign, is it?
I have to say, I'm not sure I'd want to work on a nuclear waste facility.
So of course, the main man, captain of 300 people, he's the one to go out and have a look.
Obviously.
Yeah. I mean, like, surely there should be rules against this. Like, can he be classed as being medically incompetent if he decides to go on a suicide mission?
Or for rank stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't Eleanor come with a stabby stick or something and knock it out?
So as a rule,
Yeah.
you're interested in things like the Cold War, nuclear bunkers and nuclear fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of it causing lightning?
Yes.
You have?
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
When volcanoes go pop, they cause lightning.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are volcanoes radioactive?
No, but it's the same thing.
I see.
Yeah. So yeah, but I've never seen any nuclear waste dumps on the moon exploding, so I can't say I'm an expert on that.
Have you seen any nuclear waste dumps on the moon?
Well, have you seen any Nazis on the moon?
On dinosaurs, yes. Isn't there a movie in there somewhere?
Mm-hmm. Separate. So he's in trouble here because obviously he's gone on his own. He's gone and flying over the nuclear bunkers and it's caused his ship to go crackers.
So he's a massive idiot.
He's a massive idiot. Yeah, I think he should be demoted straight away. They should get Philip Maddock back in so you can have the job back. Put down your space golf clubs and come on, get your job back.
Space golf.
Space golf.
We played space golf once.
So, what do you think of the spaceships anyway?
I think the spaceship looks a little bit like a bug.
They're called eagles.
Eagles.
They are cool, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think for the time that this was made, I mean, that does look like breasts and nipples. That's not there. I think for the time that they were made, the spaceships are very good.
They're very cult. That's with an L.
As opposed to...
Never mind, it's a family show. So obviously all the shit's gone in, and they've got to go and find him. Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
And they found him. Well, there's no tension there whatsoever, was
None
there?
whatsoever.
So they ended that segment with him crashed, and then the next thing straight away he's walking around.
There's not even like people recovering him or anything.
Maybe Helena's that good.
Maybe she is.
Maybe in the space of a 3-minute break, she can completely fix him.
That would be impressive, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
See, she moved ahead there.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Of course it counts.
That doesn't count.
It
I
does.
mean, like 90 degrees. We're gonna have to set some rules for this drinking game. We'll do that. We'll do that after the episode.
But the idea of a drinking game is that you at least want one drink.
Look, here we go. Look, full body. Yeah. Anyway, you'll get the gist. So they're obviously still fighting over this, aren't they? Because like Helena doesn't want
tension.
No, Helena doesn't want any more astronauts to come down.
Because they're going to get sick and die.
Yeah.
When the area was closed down, it had nothing to record for 5 years, but now look at it.
Is Bergman being all tacky? He's basically saying that, surprise, surprise, the sensors are detecting radiation. Woohoo!
What a radiation plan.
I think without, I know I'm dumbing it down a little bit, but it's not radiation like nuclear radiation. It's magnetic radiation that's causing the problem.
I was under the impression it was nuclear radiation.
Yeah, but I think it's what what he's saying. Yeah, there she is. She's actually saying it's magnetic energy that's causing the issue, not radiation.
And that's why it's affecting the ships.
Yes. But why it's making B-list actors you've never seen before and never seen again, eyes go white. I don't think it's ever really explained that.
No, I think that should be explained.
Because if you go to a magnet, it doesn't like make your face go funny, does it?
Well, we did magnet things at school all those many decades ago, and then I never remembered my eyes going white.
No. Or dying but not dying.
No, I didn't die but not die.
Yeah. Or fly over orange nuclear nipples.
No, but I'm pretty sure at some point in school there were nipples.
Okay.
Not mine. Not mine, but you know, some of the girls I went to school with.
You know, these are having a really serious conversation here.
You brought the nipples up.
So they're obviously going to investigate this further. So they've set a remote control one out. So see, look, it was way ahead of its time with drones.
I know, it's flying itself.
Yeah. Because obviously they don't want to kill anybody else. Because they sent Koenig up. Stupid idiot.
I love that in the future they've got clipboards, paper and pen.
Yeah. And there's all these questions about, like, where did they get all the coffee from? Because once all the shit hits the fan, they have an infinite amount of coffee, an infinite amount of spaceships, an infinite amount of everything.
I mean, some questions are probably best left unasked, unsaid.
And they're controlling the spaceship, obviously, from like a model aeroplane controller or something like that. They've already pinched it off some kid. There's some kid crying in a park now because they pinched his controller to use on the set.
It reminds me of the little, you know, you would get kit planes and things in boxes and you'd build them yourself and you'd paint all the bits yourself. Yeah. I can't remember the actual name for them.
It's Arctic or whatever it's called. Yeah, the model airplane stuff.
I've seen them because my dad used to do it when he was young, and he showed us what he's done.
No. Well, that's not going well, is it?
And that looks like something off the Crystal Maze.
So why didn't they send all of the sort of main people up there? You know, because Coney got to go last time. Why don't they just fill the whole bloody thing full of them? Let them... Oh, magnetic surge.
But can you imagine, you know, when they were trying to land that? You imagine the whole team outside the room and Richard O'Brien and the guy with his joystick trying to do whatever it is.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and they're all in like ill-fitting shell suits.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
And they're all shouting, go on to the left.
Yeah, they're agreeing now. So what's really confusing about this is there's only like 10 minutes left of the episode. Yeah? And this is the whole plot of the season.
I thought it was on for an hour.
Yeah.
Have we been doing this for 50 minutes?
Not quite. No, not quite. We're doing it for just 35 minutes.
Wow.
Time flies when you're enjoying yourself. Anyway, what we're doing now. So the fact that thing's got an orange bit on the side.
I was just going to comment on the orange
It's
bit.
like it's a cargo one or something. I can't remember. There'll be people out there who know exactly what they all mean, but there are subtle differences. Or it's the commissioners. That's it. So he's come now. So he's obviously not happy. So he's come to the moon to be all horrible and big wig and nasty
and it is a big wig as well.
Yeah. He's obviously not happy, is he? He's been kicked out of his cozy bed.
My office tried to query you about your emergency code Alpha 1. You didn't seem to be available.
No, he's too busy dying. So he's come to cause trouble, hasn't he?
The heat is starting to rise on the interior of Area 2 as well. Now it contains 140 times.
It's such a 70s beard, that. You couldn't get that in any other decade.
No, you couldn't.
And pointed chin.
Chances it could burn itself out, like Area 1. Simmons, you don't seem to understand.
It's very just like a strip, isn't it?
I need to tell you who James Last is, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a fun podcast.
Whole podcast.
Who is James Last?
Let's do it. We do have limited time.
Oh, so he's pushing his weight around. Bless him. Another eagle. See, this is what I mean. How many have they crashed so far? I've lost count.
I know. How many can they afford to spare?
Well, obviously in 1999, spaceships were free. You got them out of the cereal or something.
What on earth is that? Is that a giant magnet?
Yeah, they've all got one. So I think what they're doing here, they're moving some of the nuclear radiation pod things to a different area to try and cool it all down.
Right.
Because the more nuclear stuff you have in one location, the more chance it has of going pop. I think that's what they're trying to do here.
See, I'm nodding, but we're not. Nobody can see me nodding.
No. As I say, it's great radio, that.
Yeah.
He's got a swivelly chair.
There's a lot of... You were right about the orange. There's a lot of orange.
Yeah. Look at him now, look at me.
How swanky.
I'm the boss and I can see everything. So they must be like the radiation dump things.
So that lid moving off there looked like our robot Hoover.
Robbie the radioactive robot?
Yeah.
So we're going to move them all here.
They are giant magnets, I was right.
They are good effects as well, aren't they?
I don't think this is half bad.
I like practical effects. Everything's CGI now and it sort of spoils it a bit.
I don't know, without CGI, how do you get Baby Groot?
Vin Diesel in a costume.
So not the same.
Well, this is all going very well so far, isn't it? Nothing's going to go wrong here, is it?
I was going to say it's all a little bit too smooth.
Mm-hmm.
What, are they just dropping it?
Yeah.
Just like that?
yeah. Just put your nuclear waste anywhere. It's fine. We weren't thinking about building any sort of moon huts on that bit.
I know, this is not going to be the latest holiday resort.
Uh-huh. Oh dear. Pinching his shit now. Simmons will not be happy.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Do you think they've deliberately styled him to look a bit like Jesus?
He doesn't look like Jesus. He looks like, I don't know, Dracula or something.
Dracula?
Mm-hmm. No, he's just meant to be a knob. It's as simple as that.
Right.
So Alan's pinched his shit to go and have a look.
So he's going to get in all sorts of trouble.
Oh, absolutely, yes. But he's also a shit hot pilot as well. So
But he
Yeah.
wasn't wearing a red shirt. Is that because he's not
Oh,
disposable?
Alan's in all of them?
But you said red shirts were pilots and disposable.
No, Red Shirt's the name of disposable characters in sci-fi films
Right.
and TV. It's not literally everybody in a red shirt dies.
Okay.
They do in the original Star Trek, but they don't. It's just.
It followed on from there.
I'm so pleased I shared this with you.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Oh dear. Here he is. Oh, here he goes.
Wake up, Commissioner. If this goes wrong, there won't be anybody to issue a communique. There will be no survivors.
No, is that good enough for you?
It's going up.
Oh, here we go. So this is the beginning of the end now.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh so that plane just exploded.
Uh-huh. Big set, isn't it?
Very big set.
Yeah, you're not going to hang around there, are you? You don't need to say that, Paul.
No. It's like, in these films where people say run, and you think, wow, wish I'd thought of that.
So I wonder how many lots were dynamited in Pinewood Studios or wherever this was done.
Well, there's an awful lot of explosions going on right now, people.
Right, so this is it now. So basically the entire of that side of the moon has exploded. And so that explosion has now chucked the moon out of orbit. Bye-bye, moon.
Yeah, so the moon's like split in half and completely moving away from the Earth.
It's not split in half. It's just...
It looked like it's split in half.
Okay. That was just the moon base. So they're simulating, like, gravity here. Like, acceleration, G-forces. Because the moon's moving out of orbit.
I'm doing it again, I'm nodding.
Do you think that's plausible? That an explosion on the moon could knock it out of orbit?
Don't they say that if they could have an explosion on an asteroid, it can knock it off its trajectory? I don't know. You're the bigger geek.
Okay. So there's Alan.
Which I don't say as a criticism at all.
So Alan's got a problem now.
He doesn't know where to go.
Because the moon's going fast out of orbit.
He can't reach it.
There you go. Some great acting in this, isn't there?
Absolutely spectacular.
So, bye-bye Earth.
So does the moon keep on floating, or?
Yep.
It doesn't settle anywhere?
Nope.
So do they ever get back to Earth?
Do you want to know the answer?
No, I don't.
No. But yeah, basically, because the moon's flung out of the Earth's orbit, it now goes on a trip out to space.
So, to sum up so far, there was a guy who was in charge, and there was a massive fuck-up, so he got sacked.
Yeah.
And 2 people died, and a new guy came in, has done all sorts of investigations, including crashing himself.
Yeah.
And he achieved nothing, so the bigwig came in, who also achieved nothing.
Yeah.
They're trying to move some nuclear waste, and now the moon's blown up, it's out of orbit of the Earth, and they're floating away from the Earth.
Yep, that's
and
it.
The guy, Alan, in the ship, is trying to catch up with them really fast.
Yeah.
We seem to be decelerating.
He looks like he's enjoyed himself, doesn't he?
Isn't he?
Mr. Simmons. Commissioner, sorry.
All the lights have come back on.
Yay, everybody's fine.
We're down to 3G. We're compensating. I see the whole disposal area has been acting like a gigantic rocket motor, pushing us out of orbit. But if it stopped fishing, then we shan't be accelerating anymore. Carter might have a chance.
Come on, Alan.
Do you read me? Yeah, I can hear you loud and
If
clear.
you don't get back, you won't get your residual paychecks every time an episode is shown. He's hurry up. I think of his equity card, doesn't
Yeah.
Can make it. Good, Captain. Check out the mates. This is main mission. All sections report. Security section. We have audio contact. Radio systems gone. Service section. Lost all power. Operating on emergency systems. Medical section, Paul. Explosive decompression in 2 compartments. Areas sealed off. No leaks. Sufficiently operational to accept casualties.
That's handy, isn't it? That we can do like hospital things
Isn't it?
after that happening.
So you know her, the doctor?
Yeah,
Is she a doctor of medicine or doctor of science?
medicine.
So why is it her fault that they didn't know about the radiation?
Well, because she's a doctor, she should have found out that that's because of all the sick people. Which, by the way, we've completely ignored now. Because there was a sick bay full of sick people, wasn't there?
I know, where are they?
What's happened to them? Do we just write them off?
Well, one of them was allegedly dead.
So now they're just realising that they can't get home.
Consult the master computer.
Master
When
computer
are we
time.
out on contingency plan exodus? Yes, sir.
So they've got a talking big computer, which isn't like Star Trek at all, is it?
No.
No.
It affects all of us here, all of us.
Emergency Operation Exodus. Indefinite factors. 1. Moon on unknown trajectory. 2. Constantly changing G-forces due to Moon's movement away from Earth. 3. Insufficient data to compute
Data.
flight plan.
It's made in England, this.
Bank relating to Operation Exodus.
Piss off with your data.
Insufficient data available under prevailing circumstances. Human decision required.
Well, that was a cop-out,
I
wasn't
know,
it?
that's a useless thing.
Millions of pounds worth of computing stuff, and it says human decision required.
So what decision is there to make? Like, what are their options?
Well, they haven't got any, have they? Because they can't get back, and they can't do anything about the moon.
They're still on the moon, though, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wishes he'd stayed where he was.
Exactly. Serves himself right for being an arsehole, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He does get his comeuppance, though.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. Alan's back! Hey, everybody!
Good one, Alan.
Oh, big speech coming up.
Attention all sections Alpha. This is Commander John Koenig. As you know, our moon has been blasted out of orbit. We have been completely cut off from planet Earth. As we are, we have power, environment, and therefore the possibility of survival. If we should try to improvise a return to Earth without travel plots, without full resources, it is my belief that we would fail.
And you'd have no TV show.
Therefore,
That's true.
in my judgment, we do not try.
Be a pretty short series, wouldn't it?
Well, is he not just being a bit miserable?
Yeah. Oh dear. What are them cool spaceships?
The
Oh,
totally unforeseen accident on the lunar surface has caused.
this is apparently what news looks like in 1999,
Right.
with the 2 telephones next to your
I'm
thing.
very pleased it didn't.
Earthquakes in the United States along the San Andreas Fault and in Yugoslavia, as well as
Not
southern
Yugoslavia.
France,
We don't have one of
has
them
caused
anymore.
Enormous damage to life
He's got a turtleneck.
and property.
Sorry.
The International
do like a
Lunar
turtleneck,
Commission,
don't they?
with its new chairman, is an executive conference at this moment deciding what steps might be taken to rescue
So the news
311
broadcast
men and
that's
women.
on
Mhm.
is glitching.
Yeah.
Hope is held, however, that there are any survivors.
Or what was it the kids used to say? They didn't say
Glinching.
Glinching.
Yes, it's glinching. Because obviously they're going further away from the Earth.
So it's...
You can't get BBC One if you're more than 250,000 miles away or whatever
I mean,
it is.
can we get BBC One now?
No. Commander Koenig, Netflix isn't working.
No, and we're just in little old England.
Our data's not working.
Yeah, with data.
Does me head in that.
Well, it's fine if it's on an American show, because it's an American way of saying it.
Mm-hmm. So there's an extended version of this.
What?
This episode.
Um,
Yeah. So I don't know if we do that as a bonus feature or something.
we could.
Yeah, like when we do it all, we could always watch the extended version.
Yeah.
And it has a couple of scenes from the Earth,
I was just
showing
gonna
how
say,
they
what
how they
extra
feel about it. You know.
do they care?
Well, yeah, because without the moon, there's no tides, for example.
Oh, I didn't think of the impact of the moon not being there.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the people.
It's not just like people who make crappy Christmas cards, you know, love you to the moon and back and that sort of stuff.
And it affects menstrual cycles.
Well, there you go. Well, they definitely, that's not covered in the extended edition, though. Well, there's Meta. So Meta is classed as being really important in this episode, and you never hear from it again. Which is a shame, really, because it was quite a nice idea that there was this mysterious planet that had come to the solar system. But, yeah.
So it's just, I don't know, a
Budget.
red herring.
Budget's not so... Oh, wait, they're just... Because... we better listen to John. You know.
Meta signals increasing.
That could be a cow.
Maybe there.
Katie's looking at the stars.
It looked like the cow. It's finished.
Yes, there you go. So we did that.
Prentice Hancock.
Yeah, that's Paul with the moustache.
Prentice Hancock.
Yeah. You didn't get many acting gigs being called John Smith, did you?
I don't know, the doctor does alright out of it.
Okie dokie. At Pinewood Studios. You know that.
Yeah.
Basil did the makeup.
Basil,
yeah. So that's your first taste of Space 1999. So, just wanted to stop it from playing. So, yes, there is an extended edition, because what they did in the 70s, and they did it with loads of TV shows, it wasn't just Space 1999, is they would knit together either deleted scenes, or they would take 2 episodes and make a movie out of it.
right.
So you had all these sort of really crappy sort of juxtapositions where they were just trying to sort of make a movie out of 2 completely separate episodes. And so there's a fuller version of that, and it's got Patrick Allen in it. Patrick Allen is the guy who did the Protect and Survive infomercials, you know, the nuclear bunker stuff. The guy with a really serious voice. So he's in a big conference room going, "Oh no, the moon has gone. Now what do we do? Oh dear, dear, dear." And he's brilliant at it. And there's 4 of them, and they're of varying quality. And that's it. So they did that as well. So just to fill in the gaps. So that came out, as I say, in 1975, and it ran for 1 season. Then they had a break, and they did a 2nd season. But the 2nd season is so much different to the 1st season. You almost have to treat them as 2 separate things. There's a bit of continuity, but there's not.
Are the characters the same?
No, well, yes and no. It's hard to explain, and there's no point in explaining it now. So season 1 is very serious and very sort of like
down the line.
Yeah. There's not a lot of humour in the first in the first season.
It's a good job people have us to bring the humour in.
Well, that's it as well. So it was, but the other thing though, it was something that's called syndicated, which means they just didn't make it. They just didn't make it for one network. So like now you do BBC One. BBC One would show 8 episodes, and that's what you would do. So they did something called syndication. So what they did all the 24 episodes, and then they sold it to the regional network. So Time Tees and Central and
Humber and whatever,
all that stuff. But they did the same thing in America. And so the upshot of that is that they were all aired in completely different orders. So there wasn't really a running order of episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You just saw it whenever HTV decided to show an episode, and they just picked one at random.
But they're not in sequence?
No. Well, there is a sequence to them. And there are 2 different sequences. There's 2 official sequences. Now, I can't remember which one I've got.
Hang on. But is it not episode like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the storyline is consistent throughout?
So episode 1's the same,
which we've just seen.
And episode 24 is the same. But
How many episodes are there?
Well, of the first season, 24.
Right.
But I think every other episode is in a different order.
And it doesn't matter?
No.
So there's no consistent storyline through it?
No.
They're all just standalone episodes?
Yeah. So that's why a lot of the writing is very sort of, you'll have a different writer for each episode, and you'll have people come and go, and you'll have things mentioned that never get solved and all that sort of thing. So like Meta, for example, never gets mentioned again.
Because you watch some series and you couldn't watch episode 9 and then episode 5.
No.
You have to watch them in order so it makes sense.
No, but I mean the classic one, Star Trek. You can watch Star Trek in basically any order, and there's not a lot of it which you have to know. You know, you could watch it. You could watch. I mean, I'm in the middle of season 2 of the original series. You can watch that, and it doesn't matter, does it? So and that was the blueprint for these guys.
So you couldn't watch Game of Thrones in the wrong order?
No, you couldn't. But you can watch this in the wrong, in inverted commas, order.
You couldn't watch Breaking Bad in the wrong order?
No. So that explains why some of the writing is how it is as well. So you met the main characters. You got the general gist. So the moon's blown up. It's gone into outer space. It's on its way. It's on its travels. And then all the other episodes about what happens to the moon while it's going through space.
So I guess we need to watch them.
Yes, we do. We certainly do. So what's your first impressions?
It was okay. It was not what I expected.
Oh, right. What did you expect?
I expected something very pompous.
You don't think that was pompous?
Not as pompous as I expected.
Wow.
I thought it might be something more like, and I think I've got this show right, The Man in the High Castle.
Uh-huh.
That's not what I mean.
Is it not?
You know the show that you watch, and there's a guy, and he's in like a fake world. It's a bit like the Truman Show. Like he's a secret operative or something, and he's in a world, and they pretend that this is his world, but it's not, and he figures it out, and there's like a big control thing. Do you know what I mean?
No, I haven't got a clue.
Oh.
That's not Man in the High Castle.
No, but it's something that you watch.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, anyway, moving on from that. I expected it to be much more highbrow.
Right. Oh, you mean The Prisoner? I know what you mean now.
Right.
With the big bubble thing that comes out the sea. And
yeah.
That's The Prisoner. Yeah.
So I thought maybe something like that, where there's like this all omnipotent like control person, and then there's like sort of menial people doing things.
Mm-hmm.
But that was more like a Star Trek sort of thing.
Yeah, because it's quite funny how they were trying to be sort of a British version of Star Trek and sort of do their sort of their take on it, I think. So the Star Trek analogies work really well.
Is Star Trek not British?
No, Star Trek's American.
But isn't Picard British?
Yeah, but that's 1987. There's 20-odd years of Star Trek before him.
Okay. So it's American?
Star Trek's American, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The things you learn.
Yeah. So, actually, Bergman, who was in that, he's half Canadian. So.
And don't compare Canadians and Americans.
Well, I'm just saying there is that sort
it's
of
like
flavour.
it's like us and the Scottish were different.
No, so it is very sort of different, but you get the sort of feel for it anyway. So the other thing to note is that they spent a fortune on it.
Oh, it was an expensive thing to make.
This was in like today's money at least $1 million an episode.
Right.
They absolutely threw money at this left, right, and centre.
Is massively expensive.
Because like you saw the set of Main Mission, it's like a small city. That thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that figure though.
Yeah, I think there's one episode we'll see called War Games, which it broke the records. I think in those days they spent 1.7 million on it.
So what would a sci-fi episode cost these days of a show being made right now?
Well, it depends, isn't it? It's all about scale. It's all about what we're trying to do. But I guess what the question you're asking, I think the answer is because you had to do everything using practical effects and you had to use sets and you had to have everything set up. That's where the money was spent. Whereas now you can use CGI, you can use blue screen, you can get away with all sorts of things.
So you needed to not only make the props, but you needed people to make them.
And it took months to do the effects because they shot they did the filming and then they spent at least the same amount of time doing the special effects and everything. So
instead of CGI, you needed some guy with a tiny little paintbrush.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where all the sort of money went as well. So yeah, so it had it didn't really have a launch as well because of the syndication thing. It didn't have like, today on the 1st of November 1975 we'll launch like they would do now. It sort of dribbled out, who's the other thing as well. And nobody likes it when it dribbles out, do they?
No.
No.
Nobody likes that.
So that's it. Really. So, any other questions or observations or
Observations?
apart from the fact it's very, very 70s.
It is extremely 70s, and that's possibly an observation in that it hasn't dated very well. Like, you can't watch it now and think, oh, it could be from now. It's obviously a show that's from a decade.
Actually, it's really good because like 2001, it pretty much holds up. I mean, there's a scene in 2001 where they're eating the food on iPads, watching stuff on iPads, and that's what we do now.
Yeah.
So whereas and because they use so much stuff that was cutting edge of the time, I think that's the other thing as well. So like the machines, the coffee cups, the lamps, the seats, they use everything that was really modern then, but that's how to date a show. Because it's like anything else. If I got a Tamagotchi out now, you'd say, oh, that's definitely the 90s.
Yeah, you would.
Whereas,
And it's the things that are really prevalent in a time that make it more of that time, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's it really. So anyway, so we'll just wrap it up, yeah?
Yeah, so Space 1999.
So we'll do another episode, yeah?
Yeah.
We'll do the next. I think Black Sun's the next one. So this is how dated it is. There was no such thing as black holes in 1973 and 1974.
Oh, so did they just pop into existence?
So they called them black suns. No,
Right.
the scientists called them black suns.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, the black hole is a relatively modern name.
You're just full of information.
Well, it's astronomy and it's sci-fi, so
yeah,
it's a
it's
good
very
combination.
you.
Yeah.
It's very you.
So that's the next episode. And if you don't think it's pompous, you'll definitely think it's pompous after this one.
Right, mission find it pompous.
I think that's the next episode anyway. It'll have to be the next episode now. We've talked about it so much.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you very much for listening.
And thank you for sharing, Colin.
Well, no, and thank you for joining in. You're going to see some things. That's all I can promise.
You're going to see some things.
Mm-hmm,
well,
yeah.
I look forward to it.
Right, and thank you very much. And hopefully check out the feed and look out for the next episode. We're going to try and do these things weekly, aren't we?
Yeah, weekly sounds good to me.
Weekly sounds good, yeah. So, so either you'll be looking forward to it or be bored to death, one of the two.
Yeah, we'll either see you then or not.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Hopefully
cool.
we will.
Right, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.